From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather tonight.
Mostly clear skies as we head through the overnight. That's going to allow temperatures to get chilly out there, dropping out of the 30s into the 20s overnight, and most of us into the low to mid 20s by daybreak. Mainly lower 20s across southern middle Tennessee and mainly mid 20s over northwest Alabama and northeast Mississippi. Plenty of sunshine for a large part of Saturday, but clouds increase as we head later into the afternoon. Lower 40s over southern middle Tennessee and the low to mainly mid 40s over northwest Alabama and northeast Mississippi. Clouds increase tomorrow night, maybe a few showers after midnight, maybe a stray sleet pellet mixing in toward daybreak on Sunday morning, but don't expect issues from that if it does happen. Rain showers off and on for the daytime hours of Sunday, and then as we head into the evening and the overnight, from sunset into the overnight of Sunday, a line of showers and thunderstorms moves into the area with gusty gradient winds of 35 to 45 miles per hour. It's not a severe storm situation because we're going to have temperatures stuck in the 50s this time. If you remember back to last Saturday when we had the Athens tornado and the widespread damaging winds, we had temperatures getting up into the mid to upper 60s ahead of the storm, so we had more instability to work with. We don't have that this time, so we're not expecting severe storms. All of the severe weather activity will be western Mississippi back into Arkansas and Louisiana, but some background gradient winds of 35 to 45 miles per hour and the rain and thunder Sunday night, and those wind gusts are strong enough to cause some isolated short-lived power outages. That moves out before daybreak on Monday, but clouds hang tough Monday with Arctic air moving in. Monday's going to be a day where we hit the high temperatures in the morning in the mid to upper 30s, and then we drop into the lower 30s by the afternoon. Wind gusts could still be 30 miles per hour or so on Monday. That's going to cause wind chills on Monday, even in the afternoon, to be into the low to mid 20s. So you're going to have to bundle up Monday. In addition, it's looking more likely we will have some spotty snow flurries, and light snow showers on Monday as well. Nothing of consequence there, but a few flakes blowing in the wind, certainly possible. Clearing skies, partly cloudy for Tuesday, Wednesday. Clouds increase on Thursday, and then we'll talk about late next week here in just a moment. 40s for Saturday, 50s for Sunday, and then 30s for daytime highs for all of next week. The lower half of the 30s even Wednesday, Thursday. Overnight lows next week, notice it's between the mid-teens to the lower 20s as the Arctic air settles in here across the Tennessee Valley. So here's what we're watching for late next week. It's still more questions than answers. At this point in time, it's within the 7-day window, so we do have to address it. We have to talk about it, but there aren't many details at this point because it's still out in the extended range where all we're doing for now and all we're doing for the entire weekend this weekend is just watching for trends in the model data and for some sign of consistency in a basic idea. That's what we'll be doing tonight, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe even the first part of Monday. Once we get into next week, if we start to see consistent ideas, by Monday we will start to get a basic idea of how this will play out, and then we'll work on details as we work through the week. What we have high confidence in for late next week is that there will be cold air in place well ahead of this potential system, and that's one of the big check marks in winter weather in the South is the cold air is often in question. That won't be the case this time, but what is low confidence and a big question mark is the strength of the low pressure system in the Gulf of Mexico and its track. If it's a bit more organized and it tracks closer to the coastline, it will throw moisture northward into the cold air. That would cause the potential for some wintry weather concerns in our part of the southeast. That's not a guarantee. That's one scenario we're watching for. Another scenario, which is just as possible, is that the low pressure is not as strong. That allows it to track farther south. That keeps the moisture south of our area, and if that happens, it would just be cold and dry across the area. We don't know how that's going to play out yet. That's why we have not been pushing this all week long, even though it's been out there in social media. But now it's in the 7-day window. We have to start talking about it. But these are all the question marks we have on the board. This is why we can't give answers yet, but it is something to watch. We will watch for trends over the weekend in the data. We will watch for signs of consistency in those trends. And then once we get into next week, we will start to see the details of everything. So no reason to change plans, no reason to cancel appointments for late next week. Just watch the forecast and we'll hammer out the details as we get closer. But it is something credible to watch, just not a guarantee. Clear skies overnight tonight, allowing us to drop well into the 20s. Mostly sunny for a large part of tomorrow, but clouds start increasing later in the afternoon. Daytime highs low to mid-40s. Rainy conditions for a large part of Sunday, and then from sunset into the overnight, some thunder involved, some high wind gusts with gradient winds, 35, 40, 45 miles per hour, maybe an isolated power outage or two. Not looking at a tornado situation or anything like that. Colder air, gusty winds, cloudy skies, flurries on Monday, and then clearing skies and cold for the middle of next week. And then we will watch late next week around Friday or so, give or take, for the potential for a low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico. Way more questions than answers, but we'll be watching that carefully. There's a look at your latest 7-day forecast. Chase Wilson is here through the weekend with all your latest local weather.